So I'm gonna do a bit of an analysis video on this one. I haven't done one in a little while, so I'll jump back into it with a competitive map. That way, anyone who watches it can sort of, whether you're just a casual player or you're actually a competitive player, because I know a decent bit about how to actually play these maps on a competitive level, even though, like, you go to a pub, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Like, we don't have a coordinated game plan other than just if somebody's going B, you might want to just go B with your teammates because that's where everyone's going. But there's very little coordination into this other than the fact that we're just hitting out of sight all as a team pretty much. But basically, you do want to have somebody go where I go. Maybe pre-aim this. Try not to get picked. It's a pretty obvious spot for other teams to set up and watch. You basically just want to get eyes and see how many people are going to be outside against a good team. Obviously, against a team of, pub standards, you just take the gunfight and just mob the people that like to come there. One thing is, so immediately I recognize on the minimap, everybody pushed straight to B, and nobody had that mid cut, so likely the people who go middle on the other team, because there's usually one, maybe two, sometimes they send a lot, they're going to recognize those gunfights. They're not going to see anything blocking their path to those gunfights, so they'll just probably run straight here. So I recognize that all of our arrows were inside of B, all focused on the front time being. So as soon as I got those 2 kills, my attention went straight to the other entry point into B, where the other team would likely send players once we cleared out the people who came front, because obviously we didn't get a full team wipe when we looked front, so there had to be some missing players somewhere. They're going to see that gunfight going down. They're going to flock to it because a lot of people just red dot chase. Even though their team died, like, even though they lost a significant amount during that initial break, the remaining guys during these pub games aren't going to pay attention to that. They don't know that they're running into a group of 5 people waiting for them to potentially run in. This guy just thought, oh, I see action, I see orange dots, I'm going to run to it. And so his mind never thought deep enough to think, maybe I should post up on this statue and catch them peeking middle. Maybe I should, stay back and buy some time and go top yellow and get a pick to just even some of these numbers out that we lost, which that guy actually gets a 3-piece. Good lord, I didn't even realize that. Good on him. Not even mad at it. But see how, like, we sort of died? I kind of recognized they were all off spawn coming from that way. I could have tried to get away, like, where that guy came from, that killed me through the alleyway. I probably could have ducked and tried to go back through there, but it just was what it was. Like, I was caught out at that point. Like, I didn't have really any other play once I had already committed to getting the trade. I guess it really just came down to us getting 3-pieced while I was making that play, and it is what it is. I ended up getting traded out, but I did take, I think, two down with me, so it's not bad. It's not a bad little trade out for my life. I think this was play of the game, because I camped the corner, nobody knew it was there. I'm actually not proud of that. That should have been way cleaner. I don't know what that jump out was. I mean, it seemingly worked, but against a good player, it's not going to work. Jumping out like that, for the most part. I'm not saying, like, jumping out like that's bad, but I mean, if you're going to jump out like that, you better make sure that you don't miss his initial shots, because the other guy's going to come down and probably mess you up. A good player, at least. But essentially all we did right there, just one trade battles. I mean, we hit out B. That's the likely spot teams will try and hit out first, because it's a site that once you get inside of it, it's really easy to get a lot of ticks on the point. It's way quicker to get to than going through A. A is sort of on the other team's spawn point almost, so trying to capture A is very, very difficult. because you kind of have to use the B route to get to A, and if you go on to B at any point to try and get to A, they're going to know you're there because they're going to get a notification that you're going through B. So through most maps, you kind of want to. There's usually one site that's almost neutral, where it's kind of closer to neither spawn, and that's B on this map. And then there's usually one site that's more defensive favored. Like the other team spawns up and they can get there much quicker. So my thing is, and you see a lot of pro players do this too, so it's not just like an original thought that I had. I mean, this is pretty widely recognized as a sound strategy, as a basically a general strat that most teams use. You want to go to the site that is more the 50-50 site, because once you get that one, you open up all 3 lanes of the map to try and get sneaky and make plays onto the site that's more defensive favored. So, yeah, you can try and go for A first, but most teams get wiped from it, and they'll get maybe a tick or 2. But it's usually just to keep the other team on their toes, keep them surprised. And by doing that, your ultimate goal is really to just keep them at bay so that your team can get into B easier. Like, most teams don't go to the harder site in hopes of capping it right off. I mean, they do. They obviously want to cap it. But for the most part, the thought process going behind it is we want to go to that site in order to make the other team wonder, oh, what are they doing? This isn't what we expected. And then you make your teammates who are going to the neutral site, the B, in this case, the B site, easier. Like, they don't have to just take 50-50 gunfights. Maybe now they can sneak in. Maybe now they can catch their team off guard when they're trying to wrap back to A, or trying to wrap through middle to get to A once they've already committed to B. And then you pick up some free kills. And that confusion for a team that's not ready for it and they're not communicating well can really throw them off, and you can catch a lot of teams in bad spots by doing that. And that's sort of one strategy to have, and one strategy to really think about. And it's why you see a lot of these teams make what you probably think of as a vanilla play. You know, they're like, oh my god, you always hit this site first. That's the general rule of why they're doing it. I think I can spawn kill right here. I actually think I can spawn kill from barrels or something. Where yeah. I almost turned on him, but he I died here from fountain, and this guy kills me another time, maybe even 2 more times. Yeah, did not expect that. I really did not expect him to gun me right there, but he has my attention now. Now I have some respect for this team. Okay, if they catch you, they will kill you. They're not guys who just can't absolutely shoot straight at all. So I'm starting to take them a little bit more seriously, especially that guy, their top guy. It's not like you have to think they're good, because most players aren't good, that you're going to play against in a pub. Like this guy right here, I kill him 3 times right here. I kill him again on spawn. So he's not somebody that's any good. It's just a matter of he can't shoot straight if you're not taking him seriously. So it's one of those things. Recognize who you're playing against. Recognize the situation. In this case, our team did such a great job, and now the other team's leaving. But my team did such a great job of winning their gunfights to get into A that my play is sort of irrelevant, because they won regardless of what I did. I mean, what I did was sort of just icing on the cake, and they made it actually easier for me to shoot people in the side, because they made people want to try and run and get to A quicker, because they thought they had to press up to contest because we were in the hill. So I didn't really make a play that decided the game. I sort of just put icing on the cake by killing the remaining guys that were trying to get to A. Yeah, now there's only one guy left, and now there's two more spawning with them, but, I mean, at this point, what is this team going to do? There's really not even anything to analyze going into this round because they don't have the numbers, they don't have the skill. There's just really no chance for them to ever make this a game. But once you realize like you have this advantage on the team, just take them out. Just go to their spawn. One thing I've noticed, and I swear, this is how you can tell somebody who knows how to spawn trap and somebody who doesn't. So you see how there's no red skulls on the map or on in the by any of their names? I'll demonstrate this here in a second. Okay, so now you see that 2 kills took place, and you see the red skulls beside the 2 players on the enemy team who died. That indicates that they're still dead. Their bodies are not respawned on the map. And what you want to do to effectively spawn trap a team that, you know, is a lesser team than you is if you watch where they're expected to spawn, their primary spawn, in this case up, you know, by the stage, they won't spawn there. Like the game's not going to spawn them in the direction that you're looking if you're blocking a spawn. I mean, that's where the term blocking a spawn comes in. So what you want to do is keep your scoreboard up. If you're in a position like I'm in, and sometimes you can just time it right. Like sometimes you can just, if you're good enough, you have that, you know, innate timing ability. You can sort of just time it right and guess. But to be absolutely 100% effective at it, you don't want to just stare at their spawn and wait for them to spawn, because they won't spawn there. Like in this case, in this scenario right now, what it looks like, I can't tell exactly because I can't see where that guy on the bottom right is looking as of now. But we have 2 guys in the mid ramp. I'm in secret. If we push up any further, they won't spawn in that backstage area or by the statue. They'll spawn out towards our right, their left, going down straight to B. Now, if you have all 3 lanes spawn blocked, they'll spawn out barrels. They'll spawn in weird places. They'll spawn as far out as you'll make them spawn. And what you want to do is you want to put your scoreboard up. Just wait, like right where I'm at. Just wait. And then as soon as you see those red skulls disappear from their name, one guy backed out. But as soon as you see the red skulls disappear from the name right now, he spawned back up. That's when you should check. See how, do you see where he's at on the map? He spawned up and was there in his spawn because we had all given up and were just, you know, blood hungry for where he was at. But I think you'll see me do it. See me right now? I see the red skull disappear. Turn around. I have my mini map up. Red skull disappear. I turn back around and look for him. But unfortunately, some of our other teammates were watching it and forced him to spawn out. But if everyone did what I did right there in secret, that guy would just be forced to spawn really where he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to spawn in his own spawn right now because he's not going to have a chance to fight for his life. I mean, we'll just kill him. And then if you do it, you know, systematically, your team can just turn around, pull their scoreboard up, wait for that red skull to disappear, turn back around towards the spawn where you're not going to block it anymore because he's already spawned up, kill him, repeat, rinse, repeat. I mean, it's literally that simple. Whenever you have a team that unequipped to deal with a spawn trap, I mean, there's really nothing they can do at that point, and you can take the guesswork out of it, essentially, if you really wanted to. Now, if you're just trying to do it to a full team, it can be harder, unless you know the amount of people that are dead on the other team, it can kind of, like, manage that way. But on a full team, you kind of just have to read the kill feed and see when it disappears based off of, like, okay, give it, like, 1 to 2 seconds after that disappears, and then they'll probably be spawned up, and you can kind of... My general rule of thumb is it's like a 3-second count. After I see somebody die in the kill feed, I'll give it 3 seconds, and then I'll peek back out, and then typically I'll catch them off spawn. But that's just a timing thing. There's no guarantee to it. People can hold their kill cams, whatever they want to do. But that is the most... Oh, I just dropped my space heater. Kicked it on the ground, so you probably heard that. But that is the most effective way to spawn trap in Control, because the spawns are fixated. They don't move if you don't force them to move. And if you have a team pinned down, that's the way to absolutely keep them down.